You guys know that Athearn makes steamers. They started it in their Genesis line. But did you know that they offered a line of steamers as early as 1961? Yeah, this beautiful Pacific right here, 1961. It's got a great story behind it. This one was sent in from a viewer, Peter Short out there. Thank you very much. He's out there in St. Michael, Minnesota, you know, one of the other motherlands. I want to take this apart. I want to show you guys the insides of it, root around in it, and see if we can get it running again. I'm Ron with Classic Model Trains. Follow on. So let's take a little look at this beauty. Now, first thing, well, not the first thing that I ever noticed, somebody has renumbered it because it's supposed to be 826, I promise you. If you get in here close enough, come down here, come here, look at this. Look, you can see that the 26 is in a silver, and you see that the 34 is in a white that seems to be kind of failing just some. Same with this side over here. But somebody did put some decals right up there on the sand tower. Sand cover, this thing right here. It's in really nice shape. This tender will come off. Let's see, how did I do that? I did it one time so far. It's got kind of a weird, yes. Look, it looks like, oh, what's this? That's them big wheels on the band drives right there. Holy moly. Heavy. A lot of weight in that right there. I'm told that this has got plastic wheels on the drivers. None of the juice picks up in the locomotive part. It's all being picked up from here. That's why we've got the drawbar, and then we've got this wire right here, which I have no idea where it hooks onto at because I don't see anything up in here to hook onto. We'll figure that out though. Couple little nicks on it, but it's got all the stuff it's supposed to have. Pump down here, pump, compressor. This, it's still there. This side, the same thing. It's weird how this piece, and every one I've ever seen, they're always discolored like that. It's like they never painted it. Generator, bell, I mean, it's in really, really nice shape. So I said that we get into it. Starting off with my three favorites. Phillips, a standard, and the long needle nose pliers. I see a bolt down inside of this smokestack right here. Sure. And then it makes me wonder how much is going to come off of here. All of that. Somebody is put, what is that? Why is that? It's like it's covering up the cotter keys, the back of the cotter keys. It's holding on the railings. Not a cotter key, cotter pin. Well, we should fix this. They don't need to be a mile long, and they don't, that's like Christmas wrapping tape from back in the day. Look at this. Wow, I haven't seen that. It's very festive. That gets us down into this part. Here's all the meat and taters. This wire just became a lot longer now. It was all wadded up inside of there for some reason. It's got universal joints in here. This motor's the old jet from back in the day. Let's get this upside down and get some of the stuff on the bottom out of our way. Front pilot tracks. And it's got, where'd that spacer go? Where'd it go? Oh. A lot of things came out of there all at once. A screw. Spacer, spring, this feller. Oh, dang it. And it came out fast. I said there's a hole right there. There's a pin right there. So that tells me how to time this up. This is going to go in there like that. Fantastic. This screw here is holding in one enormous, it's not an NMRA coupler. It looks very similar to it, but it's not. And there's no spring on it. I wonder what keeps it. I wonder if it's decorative or what. Get him out of there. Trailing truck. This looks pretty straightforward. Screw that looks like that. And it's also got the drawbar that's been worked on a lot. It's not even straight. Well, I guess it's working. It's not like you can go to the store and pick up a new one. This screw here is holding down the motor. Little feller like that. Is that going to make this here, yep, loose and rattle around. Well, this has kind of got a big gobby mess right there. Makes a feller wonder. Wires going up here to the front for this light. It's even, does it have a nut on it? No way. Goodness. I wonder if this light bulb still even works. They usually never do. One of them fellers that look like that. Yeah, replacement ones are like $9 a piece. Thanks a lot. See if we can hold this little nut from turning. So I can get this out. Oh, sure. And that held on this. It had what looks to be a plastic lock washer on the back. The screw. And an insulator on the front. Right here on this chassis. Let's pop rivet it on. Yeah, that should be easy enough to... Loving it. The boys work hard on that one. I'm starting to get a lot of components out here, so we're going to use our paint trays to keep these all separate. It helps with the reassembly process. Look, you roll the gears, and this gearbox kind of rolls back and forth too. That doesn't seem quite right. I would like to have less movement out of it. Let's get these two screws out right here and see what awaits us. That one was loose already. A short and a long. The short one goes in the front, the long one goes in the back. And you can see that because of the way that it's stepped also. Will this just come off? Oh, it will. Okay, this one here. What a beast of an assembly. Wow. Solid bar right through here. Main drive rod, and then this, this guy's got a name. Drive rod? Main rod. Eccentric rod. And that's timed. These can all be pulled out. This front pilot is being held on somehow. And I just don't know. It's loose, but I don't see anything holding it on. It's like I don't know what I've done. I don't know how I got here. I'm kind of nervous about working on this one because they're so rare. And this one is such a nice shape. I'm trying to be extra careful. I mean, it looks like this was soldered and then hand, like that paint on electrical tape up here and here. And you can see that this was very much hand built. Okay, that came off the motor shaft. Interesting. Oh, and then this falls apart. Is this a 3-piece? Look at that. Wow, that's unbelievable. It's like seeing the beginning of history right here. It's like digging up a dinosaur. This gearbox right here is what's really bugging me. I can't get it out. And this thing was rushed to market. This could be a kit too, which is making it all that much more difficult to work on. If I can get this coupling off, it might come out the bottom, but it feels like it's very much glued on. Here you can see here it's got a worm gear attached to that. This has been glued. Oh, look. Okay. One more closer there. If I can get that to happen on the other side. This part right here, the crosshead guide, and it's hooked up to the reverser valve right here. Is it? You stop? Is that going to stop me from getting this out? It's like they're just pushed in. Oh, nice. There it is. Oh, fantastic. I mean, look at this chassis. Unbelievable. And I hope that this doesn't become a really bad idea later on. Super neat. So this would be sitting up here more. And it's glued. Here and here it looks like. And it's even loose. And it looks like somebody might have put some styrene of their own in there. Not much filth on it. Definitely a lot of engineering went into it. Oh, it's got a catch. It's right here. Oh God, it's so brittle. Oh, there it is. Ah. So this catch here and here, this just slides on into the front up on this piece right here. I've seen some guys offering repro of these things here, 3D printed ones on the eBay while I was doing some researching. Let's get some juice over here and juice this motor up and see if it works. See if it's doing what it's supposed to do. Ooh. It's, wow. It struggles. You can tell it's not in a big hurry to get up and go. It's not very dirty either. I wonder if we can just go to give it a little taste. I mean, it was kind of buried in there. Maybe she hasn't had any love for like a really long time. It's quieter. I can see this isn't going to be no creeper. I'm curious to see the brushes. Hope this doesn't turn into a bad idea. Those springs, and they're not super springy. There's one of the brushes. Put those right in here so I don't lose them. Springs look to be in really nice shape, and these brushes do too. It's like this thing's just been kind of sitting all of its life. Comes the brush holder. And this is an interesting design. It's insulated, and then it's got these things here swedged on to insulate each brush from each one. One's got a brush holder here. The other one's got a brush holder there. See, that's dirty. Spins really nice now. That magnet ain't got much. These are the plates. In the last video, I brought up about taking out magnets, and only a couple people answered. One feller said something about the older magnets had a hard time keeping their magnetism because the way they were designed, and they put plates on the end of the magnet. And this one looks like that. All the ones that I've ever took the magnet out of, they're pretty straightforward. So maybe they've gotten better at making magnets over the time. As much as I'd love to take that out. God, I wonder if we can stack up some. I got these super magnets here. They came from Micromark, and they neobididium, a big fancy long word. They've got some pull to them, and and it looks. Oh, now what happened? Well, it pulled that right out. There's that plate. Do we dare go inside here and put in some of these? Could I upgrade this motor? That'd be a heck of an upgrade, I tell you. As I can tell, that magnet ain't got much. There ain't much left. People are yelling at the screen. This little feller right there. Okay. Well, I guess we can get in there and clean this out, and I get to see it. And if we could take some of these, oh, that'd just be the bomb, wouldn't it? There's not much of anything in here. And I heard that you can sort of remagnetize these by placing them in other magnets, like this. Can I? I don't know. But they say let it sit in there for a little while. I'll be able to tell because the way that this thing doesn't come off there. I'm going to take all this stuff. I'm going to set this, set this aside. And I'm going to mineral spirits up all this metal stuff. Try to clean this up as much as we can here. What? No thrust washers? I can't believe. Oh, yep, right there. Loving it. 2. Oh, there's 3. So they really worked on that one. Yeah. What's on the back one here then? Nothing, but it's brass right there. Mineral spirits, civilian Q-tips. Clean it up. This here, now that it's completely disassembled, take it to the sink. Give it the old toothbrush treatment. The boiler, we're going to work on that. It's got some filth. Clean all this up. We're going to work on the locomotive first, and then we'll come in, disassemble this feller, see where it's getting its juice, how it's getting its juice, trace it down, do that too. We're like 4 days away from Halloween. That's why we've got the Halloween background going on right now. One of the fellers I was talking to asked me if I was going to do anything, and I said, I don't know, the last time I did it, it didn't seem to go over very well. And he mentioned, well, if you wouldn't have been sitting there with your head cut off on a plate, talking, messing around with the green screen, it probably, so I didn't do anything last year, but we'll do something this year for the Halloween spirit. Let you know why this is going on. Let's get into a little history on this particular locomotive. It started to be designed in 1958. And it was originally supposed to be a band drive. Yep, high F, yeah. It was going to be in the tender. But apparently Irv and the engineering department, them boys, they had so many problems trying to make it happen with the tender drive, which I find shocking, that they ended up making a hastily made gear drive for it, which was prone to kind of a lot of failures. Many of the early production lines of these things included a tender that had the large drum wheels in it, which were there for the tender drive portion of it. And since that failed, they had all these trucks ready to go, so they just run them out the door like that. Maybe the later production ones probably had a more traditional looking truck and axle wheel assembly on the tender. Quality issues and a lot of warranty work put this steam engine and the other two steam engines that Athearn had available, they went down the toilet real fast. They were pulled from the catalogs 1965. They even had some boxes that came out boasting the fact that this Pacific had a high-F drive in it. They were packaged in these white and orange colored boxes. The kit form is usually a Boston and Maine Pacific 462, and then the ready to runs were the Topeka and Santa Fe, typically. Now the Boston and Maines, if you got one of those are the rarest ones that are out there currently. They also offered a USRA based 060 little switcher, and then they also had this non-prototypical little monster. It's a 042. Oddly enough, the little monster was the first one to market because they probably made the drive in it better. They started working on the Pacific, and they were having problems with it for 4 years. And then the little monster, they figured it out and shot it out first. Now these three steamers, sisters, they must have gave old Irv kind of a bad taste in his mouth, because if you notice, there's no steam engines available until the Genesis line. So that means like 65 to 92. I don't know when Genesis came out. I don't, that's kind of new for me. No blue box steam locomotives out there. That's why I'm so excited to find this one. I always thought that the production ones had the band drive on them, but then researching for this video here, come to find out, no, they are a gear drive. The band drive, this picture right here, is only a prototype, never put to market. From what I understand, I could be wrong. Let's get back into this. Now that we've got everything washed up, there's some nicks on this body. Do the old black Sharpie trick to it here. We're gonna cover them up because I don't really want to repaint. Whatever this is, it's original. It's been around for a long time, so I don't want to detract from it. We're not making a brand new loco, but we want a nicer looking older one. So you take care of all these nicks that are on there. They're just sort of everywhere. Then you're gonna take out the old boot polishing brush here and give her some of this. And it blends in where that marker was at, because it's a little bit different color. It's not really black. It looks it, but not really. When you do this, then it brings it around and hides all them nicks, and then you can't see where the Sharpie's at. Yeah, sure. Plus it gives it just a little sheen. Much better looking. Now I want to fight getting all this stuff back in. Surprised it came out, to tell you the truth. We needed to go back in here. And hopefully everything goes well without making a big pain out of itself. This little gearbox here is going to be the biggest pain. Valve gear coming in a distant second. It came out, which looked like it was easy enough. Oh, did that just fall in there? It seemed like it did, yeah. And these valve gears, this little boss here and here, and then you got to get the steam rod in the steam chest, this part. And the sad part is you can't even roll it because it's got that dang worm gear on it. Oh, now the thing, see, it fell out. Push it in, roll it in, stay in there. It's probably going to be a hassle because these wheels were all loose when I took it out. These are kits the children used to put together back in the old days. Okay, there's one in right there. Just kind of goes into them holes. Get this one in here. Quite happy with that. I think it just stays together by friction. Friction fit. The gearbox looks like it would rock back and forth. It went to forward and reverse. It would just, it's just me, but that's what I think. Here's the bottom for this. Went in this way, I remember, but let's put a little Earl on there. I do have the assembly directions for this, and it says use a light oil. So we'll go ahead and do what they say and give these bushings in here. Oh, look at that. Now the gearbox came out. Very carefully, because every time you lift these up, it changes just everything. Just some. Don't get crazy. Just a little touch. We had a long one and a short one, and I believe these are them. One there, give them the snug. Yep. If it moves, earl it. Just some. Heck, I'm probably over-oiling them. It's coming out quite healthy. Yump. See how this rocks? So I bet you when that motor goes forward and reverse, that gearbox probably rocks back and forth. Bad design, if you ask me. But nobody did, so I'll just zip it. Then to make all the parts that I took off look consistent, I'm just giving them some boot brush polish here a little bit. These steps are underneath the walkways, and this slid on and then snapped into place from these two snaps. Please have enough flexibility. Oh, yay. Steps under the running boards. Get our front coupler in. I don't think I'm going to find a Katie with a... That'd be a long right there. That would be pretty cool. That'd be the little guy that goes in and holds that. Sure. And now to fight with what is this front pilot. Now this bar went on in here, like so. This, the spacer, the spring. And then we're coming in at it upside down. Hopefully catch some threads. Come on now. That looks like it's working. If I didn't put it in upside down, we'll be doing really good. We can't put this trailing truck on yet because we got to be able to bolt the motor in. So we're on standby with that one. Now, if you want to scare up a piece of this Athearn Americana history, made in America. You know, who else was made in America that made steamers? A.C. Gilbert in H.O., Tycho Mantua in H.O., Varney in H.O. Yeah, not a lot of American-made steamers. I'm gonna give you the inside numbers on them. Because we know when you search on the eBay, they may have them listed as the locomotive number. They may have them listed as the part or box number. Let's see if we can make the prices all go up on them on eBay. Yeah, because there's not very many of them out there right now. And they already go for enough. This specific goes for kind of a lot as it is. Here's a couple examples here of what they previous four have sold for. And to me, that seems like a lot for a 1960 steamer, but it is what it is. Search these out here. Pacific 462 came in 3 road names. Baltimore and Ohio, number 5316. It was released in 1961. The kit was an 1182, and the ready to run was a 2182. They also offered it in Boston and Maine. Road number 3710. The kit is an 1180, and the ready to run is a 2180. Both of these released in 1961. Santa Fe, number 826, the one that I've got here. Kit, an 1181, and a ready to run, a 2181. I'm sharing these with you so in case you want to try to find them on the eBay. Or if you've got one and you don't know what it's supposed to be. Going into the 060 steamers, Pennsylvania Railroad, road number 4114. An 1160 for a kit, and a 2160 for a ready to run. It was also available in a Southern Pacific road name, 4114. The kit was an 1161, and the ready to run was a 2161. And then the little monster, cute little thing, it just said the N&W Railroad, number 12. The kit form, 1999, and the ready to run was $29.99. Well, since we got the video stopped, now's an excellent time to do this week's Classic Model Trains Classic Model of the Week. You guys know who this is? If you do, put it in the comments down below. The reason I say this is to have you engage with the video and then the algorithm's like, hey, somebody look, they're commenting. And then it pushes the video out a little better. It just helps the channel out. So I ask you to type it if you guys know. If you don't, wait till the end. I'll let you know who it is. We're getting ready to get that motor put together right now. And there is going to be some experimental concepts taking place on it. So don't lose your mind when you see it. Just got to see if these things are going to work or not. And then at the end of the video, you'll find out how it unfolds. Let's get back into it. I've waited a while to put this motor back together because I did this to it overnight. This is just to see. From everything I've seen online, you can remagnetize a magnet by using a stronger magnet, and it lines up all the magnetic properties that are inside the original magnet. They don't really lose their magnetism. It's just the fact that all the magnetic properties, they move around and they all point in different directions. Does this one have, oh yeah, oofta. Yeah. It's attracted to the magnet now much better. Now if it stays, that'll be even a bigger bonus. This little feller had thrust washers in it. Even my needle nose pliers is magnetized. I got magnetizes all over the place. Get our 3 thrust washers on. Try to get a little taste in there. Just some on the shaft, because it's going to be right in here. Doing this. We cleaned up our commutators with the old fiberglass pencil when it was out. We got to work on getting the magnet in with these. Now, of course, when I took it out, I never bothered to pay attention to what's right and what's north and what's south on it. So more than likely, this will either run the right direction when the switch is in the right direction, or it'll run backwards and I'll have to flip the magnet around. Give her a little bit of Earl back in here. On that bushing, assemble this, and you got to get the plates all lined up where they want to be. Get this screw in, which has always been kind of a pain. Put these plates on. Why, I don't know. What are they doing? I don't know. Yeah, that magnet don't have. Now we've lost. There's nothing there. I wish the chassis was wide enough that I could do that to it. I couldn't put the magnets inside there because the ones I have are the wrong size. And it's not going to fit in here because now it's too wide for the chassis. And I'm not going to carve on it. That's just a downer. Man, that would really, really make it. Well, we could test it, to tell you the truth. I could put all the brushes back on, spin it up, try to stop this with the torque. I could pull these back off. Then we can see the difference in the way that the motor would be. Shows how important the magnets are. Wonder if I could put a single magnet in underneath there like that. Maybe I can do that, because this does sit in. Oh my goodness, I can. Let's get these brushes in there. Oh wait, we got to put the brush holder on. I knew I was missing something. Brush holder, little teeny tiny screw up here in the front. Very carefully, one brush. Line it up, and then I get a fight putting these in because they're under spring tension. Are they both the identical same spring? Make sure there's not a right and a left or an upper and a lower. No, those are the same. One. That went in really, really easy. It makes me wonder if it's even in right now because it went in so easy. Let's put it to the power pack. Now, if you guys recall, it didn't really start moving until it was around 50-60%. What are we going to have now? 25. Holy, no way. So if I take this little magnet off the bottom here, what are we going to experience then? Sure doesn't spin at 25. Are we even hooked up anymore? Oh, had my thumb on it. It's spinning, but not very well. Very, very slowly. This magnet on the bottom is helping a lot. Is this going to work forever? I don't know. Put together this guy here. He came apart in pieces. I guess I never taken one apart, so I was like pretty impressed with it. I'm just guessing here. I'm learning as I'm going. See, that hole is now in there. Clip this on. That's, well, now it's the way it's supposed to be. It doesn't feel like it's going to fall off. So we take that, line it up with the groove. There's a line right there. There's a line over here at 9 o'clock. Clock this. Put it in there. Got it. All righty then. Get our motor bolt in underneath. I want to put this headlight stuff in. And it had a lot going on. We've got her all rigged up here, ready to do some testing. I gotta say, don't take that dang light off up there if you can avoid it. The little plastic insulators were brittle and it broke with the tube that goes through there, and I had to drill it out, and I had to cut a little tiny piece of this fuel line here to go and insulate the bolt from the bracket, and then I had to put some tape on this copper piece back over here and to insulate it, and oh my God, what a hassle. A hassle, a hassle. I've already twisted the wick on it. It's noisy. A lot of that's coming from this drive line here, and I realized, well, I haven't oiled anything. So let's see if we can get in there and just give all this just a little something something. And then the worm gear, I can kind of see it down in there some. And that didn't help. Pretty low geared. Switch directions. That's reverse, but it's working. And I didn't really expect this to be quiet because, you know, Athearn. Oh, how are we going to keep that out of harm's way? Boiler's going to come down on it. So we can get our drawbar on. Let's get this trailing truck and the screw that makes all that happen. Little Earl in here. And we got to give these guys up here a little... Everybody's oiled up on this. You see this shell? It's got some... It's not pretty. But this side is. That's because I did the old brush trick on it. It takes all that black that's just ick, and it just evens it out. Carefully give her the old polisher. We don't want to knock anything off. But see, yeah, just so much better. I took the hand railings off so I could do this. They had a little funk going on also. I don't think we're going to get them silver again. They just don't seem like that. But I'm going to get these back in, and it's going to be sort of time consuming because these standoffs are all laying all over the place. Then when we're done, we're just going to get the wire coming out here, hook this body on the back side, put the screw down the chimney, and that's it. So let me do that. We'll come back and start working on the tender. Well, here she is all put back together again. But the downside is that I couldn't get the boiler shell to fit. But I had this little neodymium magnet underneath the motor in there because there ain't enough room for that. So now we're sitting there with the weak magnet that's back in there, and I don't think it's going to... It probably won't run, is what I'm thinking. And every time I touch this front pilot, these little clippies let loose, and they need to be glued. I'm not happy. How do we get into this little sweetheart here? What's going on? I don't even see any. Oh, there, a tab there. So we're going to spread it, and we're going to open it up. Yeah. We're going to spread it, and we're going to, oh, I bet you this screw back here is holding it in too. And it really wasn't. Okay, so there's where it gets the extra juice from. You take this, slide it in over there. Interesting that it only has the one, but that's fine. That's really about the only reason I wanted to open it up. These wheels should be insulated from each other. Yes. 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 No. 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 Pretty dirty, because there should be continuity across all these. So we can take the fiberglass pencil, clean these pickups up. Now they don't really make conductive oil, but the axles need a little bit in here. They're probably got some little corrosion going on. What can a guy do to take these all the way apart? I suppose you would take the screw out, and oh, it's completely riveted. And some of the juice, some of it's coming up here. The other part's coming through here from this screw hole down there. Very nice. Very nice. So here's a conductive pathway, and then the screw hole down inside there is a conductive pathway. So of course those got to be clean. The The shell needs to be washed up. I think I'm going to take the Dremel with a little zzz on it, because this is super slow. Of course, this doesn't make micro pitting either, though. People say, micro, you're going to make those wheels all micro pitted up. Okay. I'm running DC here. It doesn't have the issues that the DCC does with the micro arcing and stuff. I just want the best possible electrical path I can possibly get. So I'm going to do that, wash this body, clean it up. It's got a piece of balsa wood in the back. You just don't see that anymore. This part here is part of the conductive path, so we're going to want to clean it, both sides. Then we want the screw head. Is this part of the conductive path, clean. And then these threads at the very bottom also. And this time when we go to put it together, we're going to use some of this conductive, premium carbon conductive grease. And it don't take much. Put some here on this lip. Put a little bit of love in here. Probably didn't need it underneath there because that ain't touching nothing. And then just a little bit down there on the bottom of these threads. Screw that back together. Yeah, I want to double, triple check again. Chassis. Oh, I put them in backwards. Yep. Just got to spin them. And then pay attention next time when I take them off. I'll flip that. I'll knock these ones out so they're shiny like that and grease it all up the same. Wheels are all shiny. Give it a little taste of oil down under here. Just lift it up some so you can get the needle in. It's pointed downhill. Hopefully the oil will run into the journal. Try to keep it off the tread of the tar of the wheel. Body looks like ick. That's better. Yep. No. Yep. So we got to remember that the pickup is on the engineer's side because it's got two places to put it in there, which I find odd. Then I took the coupler off and I didn't even need to. It's super easy to convert to a Katy. All Athearns are. I don't want to do it on this one because I got a lot of stuff I work on. And Katys are expensive. Sure. So this, deep, bring it up. This, we're going to come around and plug it in over here. Well, that's the dangest thing. Got my fingerprints all over it. It's time to put it on the track and see if it'll run. I got to be honest with you. I don't think it's going to be a poor performer because that magnet, I had to pull it out. In fact, it's so poor that it don't do anything now. Wow. That's strange. Our headlight ain't even lighting up. Shocking. Absolutely. Here's our problem. The dang thing is shorting out. And it's more than likely that stupid headlight up front because it's missing the... Okay. We'll have to remove that. Try it again. That body shell was on there and it knocked this light bulb down just a little bit. It's causing us to short out. Now that we've got that settled, nothing's happening. You can see that the light is on and the motor is not doing a thing. So it doesn't have enough magnet in the magnet anymore to run. Oddly enough, we're pulling a whole amp, but nothing's happening. And this makes me sad. So here's where we're at with this thing. No extra magnets on it. And it's just barely running. Throw that one down there on the bottom. Person's almost got something there. That magnet is just absolutely dead. I was rooting through and I found this old Hustler right here. And this magnet is really showing promise. Now the downside is I got to swap it out of this frame to put it in the other frame. We're going to try that and see if we're going to make this thing, if it'll go, if it'll be better. Well, it's not much better. It was. But that ain't gonna be enough to win the pageant. Look at that gearbox in there when it does get to moving. it's just slammed completely forward in there. Makes a guy wonder if it's just binding or something like that. It's terrible. Hard to follow that, I'm sorry. Yup. Stalled out, 1 amp. Shoot. I can't believe it happened. It boggled my mind. There's been a few guys that have been telling me, don't take the magnets out of the motor. And you'd think I was from Missouri, the show me state. I don't believe nothing unless I see it myself. I seen it myself 3 times. The original motor did have magnetism in it, and then the more I messed with the magnet, then it didn't. When I got done putting the neodymium magnets on it, it had lots of magnetic power, and then it went away. And then I had another one laying around. I took the magnet out of it. It never worked. And then you see that little Hustler, how it would actually hold the motor up on the, and I took it out and I swapped it over, immediately lost all of its magnetism. I don't know why it does that. Of all the books I read, nothing, all the internet searching, nothing says why that happens. Just, I guess, if you get a Pitman motor with an old bar magnet in it, like, leave it alone. I ordered up some neodymium magnet, however you say it, the fancy ones, from the Amazon, because I don't have what's going to fit in this. And I believe that if I put some neodymiums in there, that this thing is going to run. I just know it. So this isn't going to go away. We just had a fail on this video. I'm not going to make a full video on putting the magnets in the next time. All I'm going to do is stack some magnets in there that'll fit, put it back, and I believe it's going to run. I'll let you guys know when it happens. Had a lot of fun on this one. Glad to say I've got this old Athearn steamer. It is just neat to add to the collection. Hope you guys got some out there. I'll let you know how the neodymium magnets work on it. Our classic model of the week, sticking with our Halloween theme, Yvonne DiCarlo. She was Lily Munster on the 1964 to 1966 television series, The Munsters. For those of you that got it, nice job. I bet you Eric out there in Idaho probably got it. He gets them all. It's been a long video. I want to thank all the 33%ers for hanging out with us. I also want to throw a shout out to all my channel members that are out there. Thank you guys all so much for supporting the channel like you do. I'm Ron with Classic Model Trains. Bye-bye.